This is ABC 7 News, Chicago's #1 news, with Jose Sanders, Judy Sue, weather with meteorologist Tracy Butler, and Roz Varen's traffic. This is ABC 7 News this morning.
Far from over.
A week from tomorrow, there will be a hearing before Judge Zagel to determine the timing of the retrial. And this morning, our friend, attorney Thomas Glasgow, joins us to talk about all of this. Good to see you once again. Here we are.
Good morning.
I want to know, first of all, what's your reaction to all of this? What do you make of this?
Well, I'm not surprised at the reaction of the jury not being able to come to a decision based upon how the prosecution presented its evidence, the fact that the defense did not present the evidence that they said that they would. For a year, they said, he's going to testify, he's going to testify, he's going to testify. I think that the prosecution, and if I were prosecuting the case, I would have held back some of that information that I was going to bring forth, witnesses, tapes, etc., to use in rebuttal to make it an effective rebuttal on former Governor Blagojevich. When he didn't take the stand, you're left with the case that they had before them, and now you've presented a bare-bones case as opposed to fleshing it out with people like Stuart Levine or calling Rahm Emanuel or calling Senator Dick Durbin, all these people who could have connected what occurred to Governor Blagojevich.
So then that obviously sounds like it might be a change of strategy when they do retry. And I also want to ask you, how much do they change their strategy based on how the jurors voted?
You do change how they voted because now you know that certain things are resonating with the jurors, certain things are not resonating with the jurors. When I was prosecutor and we'd have a retrial, you'd sit down and you'd examine the transcripts to determine where things went wrong and why you got a hung jury, why they couldn't get beyond that incredible burden of beyond a reasonable doubt. And when you then turned around and put your case back together, you remedied the issues that you had before. Now, the defense also is going to have to be prepared to try the case differently because the prosecution is going to be trying this case quite differently than they did the first time. I don't think that you're not going to see a defense team that doesn't call witnesses when you're going to have a slew of evidence that is put forth on top of them.
And you were just talking to us a little bit earlier in the break. Radically different results can occur in a retrial.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at federal retrials. You have cases where, you get a hung jury, and then you get a conviction. You've got a different set of people with regard to the jury makeup. If you've got a group of friends that you hang out with on Friday night, and you've got family members that you hang out with Saturday night, the dynamics are going to be completely different, and that group dynamic that you have on Friday night is completely different than the Saturday night. You're going to have a different group of jurors and a different group dynamic when you step back there. So it's not going to, what played before may not play very well with the new jury.
Now, on the surface, it does seem like to a lot of people, even judging from the reaction we're getting, is that this was an overwhelming defeat for the prosecution, but you're saying not necessarily.
Well, from the reports that we're hearing, it was 11-1 to convict on several of the charges, including Robert Blagojevich and Rod Blagojevich. So this is not the overwhelming defeat that I think that they're trying to project. They're spinning this in a way where the prosecution is the bad guy, the prosecution is the person that is spending all this money, going after vindictively Governor Blagojevich, when the prosecution's view is, what is the price of having government that is free from all corruption and where we can move on and have, our government run in the way that it is meant to run?
Wow, that's interesting. Good point. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We'll be seeing Thomas again, yeah.
Yes. I've got so much to talk about. For more coverage on the trial and the verdict, you can, of course, go to our website, abc7chicago.com, and we'll have all the full statements from the Blagojevich brothers, along with the defense attorneys and U.S. Attorney Patrick Fitzgerald, all that on the website.
And, of course, you can give us your opinion as well on our website and on our Facebook page. Right now, though, we're going to check weather and traffic on the 7th for you.
Yeah, and we've had a little bit of light rain overnight, not a big deal. Could be a very brief shower this morning, but, we're not talking about any real problems. And overall...